G'day, good humans of the world. Welcome to another episode of the GiddyUp Podcast. My name is Justin Tippett, JT, and of course I'm joined every week by this beautiful human being, Mr. Donny Elgin. Welcome, Don.
Oh, mate, I tell you what, I have more issues today trying to set this set up. This is what I've been in Sydney today. I'm back in the office. I'm back at home, and I flew in here. I've just done a quick Snapchat thing, and I said, guys, get ready. Come and spend some time with us. We have got a hell of a show today. Now, I'm saying that on the pretext that you've done a lot of work this week, because I've been on the
just like every other week, Donny. Don't worry.
I'm not going to lie. I haven't really looked a lot at the run sheet, but I'm looking at it soon.
Okay, excellent. Well, we'll just work it out as we go along like we do every other week. But I did put in some of the promo stuff today. It is a big episode. We've got a lot of stuff to get through because there is a lot happening, Donny. A lot of it is just absolute crap that needs to be called out, and I'm not going to hold back tonight. So if you're here for a feel-good, have a great laugh show, we're going to give you plenty of that, but we're also going to keep you very informed on a couple of things that are happening and not happening in this wonderful world of Australia and, of course, across the world. And no, I'm not talking Taylor Swift concerts.
Oh, well, okay, all right, okay. I'll tell you what, I've been to Sydney, JT. Flight's delayed. I've met everybody Swiftie that's ever flown in the last 48 hours. Fair income, cannot get a flight. They all up and about. Good on her. 96,000, pretty similar to our, normal weekly podcast reach. But she was doing it literally every night and wasn't bullshitting about it. So good on Taylor for booking everything out in Melbourne.
That's exactly right. So now we did say there's a lot to get through, so we're not going to muck around tonight. There is heaps to get through, and we are just going to start with, well, I don't know, there is just so much to bloody start with tonight, but I'm going to just start with something that's pretty hot off the press, Donny, and it's the first time we've done this segment for this season, so let's get into it.
Righto.
Media Watch. It's a chance where we just call out some stuff that is going on in the media. And for those of you who have been keeping one eye on the news lately, there was an interview done a couple of days ago with the CEO of Woolworths, and it's gone viral. Now, I don't know if our good listeners have seen it. They haven't. They're not really apologising for the crap service and prices, no. But he was absolutely put under the griller by the ABC reporter Angus Grigg. And, it's fair to say, and I'll let people look the clip up, of course, after the show, but the CEO got so incensed that he got up and left the interview. And that bit... And that's always the bit that goes viral, right? You've got the CEO of Woolworths who's just had a gutful, gets up and decides he's going to walk out. And he's been absolutely ripped one for doing it. And in breaking news just today, he has now announced his resignation as the CEO of Woolworths on the back of the intense media scrutiny that has followed his walkout.
Good.
Now,
piss off. Can't hack me in the kitchen.
Well, Donny, I always like to give people an alternative view on the GiddyUp podcast because he's been absolutely slammed for it. And let's face it, we love having a crack, a bit like the banks, right? We love having a crack at the supermarkets because they're absolutely reaming us one and it's rightly justified. But what actually happened in the interview, because I've watched the whole thing, is He actually made a comment about the ACCC, the former boss of the ACCC, which is the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission, and it's fair to say they're the ones that put the supermarkets through a bit of ringer. So there's obviously a bit of tension between them. And he made a comment about the now former chair of the ACCC, and it wasn't a nice comment. He basically just said he felt that he was lying about a lot of the stuff that he said. Now, once he said it, I think he realised that that probably wasn't the right thing to say. So in the interview, straight away, immediately following it, he said, "You know what? Can we actually cut that? I shouldn't have said that. Can we drop that from the interview?" Now, of course, the reporter's gone, "Oh, this is absolute gold." So he's gone, "Well, mate, you said it, so no." And that is when the CEO said, "Well, you know what? We're done here." Do you reckon he's justified when you know that extra context? And again, the next step, Donnie, was he walked off. He came back though, so he had a chat with these people there. He came back and he finished the interview, which conveniently they forgot to mention that in a lot of the press. But to me, it's that decent human being thing, isn't it? He realised he said the wrong thing straight away. He's gone, "Whoops, I shouldn't have said that, mate. Can we wipe it?" Because he's done the right thing. He's fronted up to do the interview, which is a good scoop for them anyway. And they've basically said, "Screw you, mate. We're going to torture." So he's got up and said, "Stuff you." What do you think? Listeners, what do you think?
Yeah, I would love to hear what the listeners have got to say about that. That's the one beauty about this podcast, JT. Australia's favourite interactive podcast, the GiddyUp Podcast. So your views on this, we will absolutely put up on the screen. That's what JT does. He's the geeky fellow.
And one of those comments, Donnie, is turn your volume up.
Oh, shit, I've been stuffing around for ages, JT, and I still don't know how to do it. So how about I just hold the mic a bit closer? Oh, seriously, I'm screwed. If you can't hear me now, I'll see what I can do through the show.
It's still pretty quiet. It still hasn't actually changed a lot. So so while you stuff around with that, I'd be really interested in what our viewers actually think. So make sure you pop it in the comments. And I agree with Paul. Happy birthday, Paul, I think, during the week too. We do all make mistakes. And, as I said, I think it goes two ways. And I think he's probably been a bit unfairly crucified by the media on that one. So anyway, we could chat about this one for hours. We've got a lot to get through, but that's what we do at the GiddyUp Podcast. We want to give you the alternative narrative that sometimes we're all being
JT,
fed.
I've got something on that. I reckon both of them, I've said it for years, the media are not accountable. So if you're getting your references and all that is all that you take on board from the media, get yourself a health check, because I kid you not, you're looking in the wrong spot. And the media are dodgy, shady bastards that will do exactly what they've done here and put the story they want forward, regardless whether it's a good human. But on that, I just figure, you know what? The absolute gouging that Woolworths and everybody else in the supermarket industry has taken out of people paying now, I don't give a shit if there's a few heads rolling, because people are hurting. We're people of the people, JT. We've got to support them. So see you later. New CEO, bring the prices down.
There we go. The people have spoken. Donnie. All right. Mate, now on this show, as I said, I am not going to hold back on a few things, and a couple of things have absolutely fired me up this week, and we're going to cover off one of them
when
right
you're fired
now.
up, JT.
You can't be serious!
The woke alert, Donnie. This is where we just call out some of the crap that is going on in society at the moment. And look, they were absolutely a chance for Dickhead of the Week, but I've decided to award that to someone else who is absolutely going to get a serving. But this one, I want to talk about this woke bullcrap that is going to the Melbourne City Council. Now, I don't know, for those of you who aren't around in Victoria and are watching us or listening, but last night, the good folks at the Melbourne City Council decided that it was up to them. They were going to do a vote about, and believe this is actually true, they were doing a vote about whether a ceasefire should be called in Gaza. So Melbourne City Council decided that it was on them that they should take a vote about whether they should do it. Now, of course, we got both sides that wanted very strong and passionate about their view, and I'm not here to defend either side. I don't understand enough of it other than to say it's pretty shit for everyone involved. There's people dying, there's kids dying, doesn't matter which side of the fence you work on, right? But Donnie, here's not only do I go, what the hell have they got to do with? Do you honestly think that what's his name, Netanyahu, or whoever it is going to go? Oh, actually, shit. Melbourne City Council have said we should call a ceasefire. You know what, guys? Let's just give it a rest for a week or two.
JT, I really love the fact that we've sent our representative, Penny Wong, over there, and she said, right, we'll whack some aid coming your way. We've got Biden in the States calling there, and Putin. Everyone's got a say in this. Yet, Sally Cap, the Lord Mayor of Melbourne, and the City Council, they will be heard. I like that about them. And that would have gone seamlessly. There would have been no issues on the street.
Oh, well, of course
so
there was...
well run.
Yeah, a lot of violence, well, not a lot, but there was absolutely some push and shoving, a few arrests, all that sort of stuff. But here's the kicker, Don. Melbourne City Council wasted over 4 hours of council time debating or deliberating on their motion that they were going to either support it or not support it. Who gives a shit about the result? And as plenty of other people have pointed out, how about, as Melbourne City Council, why don't you just focus on the rates, the roads and the rubbish and leave the political bullshit to other people? Because that's 4 hours that you could have been fixing. And I don't know if anyone's walked through Melbourne lately, but it's an absolute shithole at the moment. And they're wasting 4 hours of people's time on crap like that. Just shit.
Love it, JT. I love it when you get fired up, mate. Hey, I've got a good news story, JT.
I agree now. Yes.
It's a good news story about... let's go to bizarre news. I've got one for you. I've just looked at the run sheet.
Oh, he's actually looked at the run. Dun, dun, dun.
Bizarre news stories.
JT, I've got the most bizarre thing I could find this week.
Okay.
And that's not Melbourne City Council. I know that could be in this segment as well. But I have got the people to sort out the Gaza. The whole issue. They can sort out Ukraine while they're at it.
You got a solution?
It is. Yes. It is the not New Delhi. The Mumbai police. The Mumbai
What have they
police,
got to do
JT.
with that? What?
Well, this is because they are so bloody good. They've done this. They got a pigeon, JT. This pigeon, it was flying and they caught it, right? And it had some tags on its feet. Now, most people would suggest it's probably a racing pigeon or some sort of, I don't know, carrier pigeon.
I would have thought so.
They said this is a Chinese spy.
Oh.
So they've captured it and they've held it in captivity, JT. It's been locked up, this pigeon. It's been locked up for 8 months, JT. 8 months. And they've just decided that it's not actually a spy. So they've let it go.
Oh.
Credit to the Mumbai police. They didn't cook it up for lunch. They've actually set it free. So JT, I tell you what, I know you are a lover of animals, and that is why I brought this news story to your attention. It's not protesting in Melbourne. It's not trying to stop the war. This pigeon's just doing what it does, and it was having a fly, got a bit lost, went into India. They thought spy pigeon, so they locked it up, mate. Can you believe that?
Wow. Well, I've got to say that there is animals that are being used for warfare. We've already heard about dolphins that have been trained to do stuff for ships and all this sort of stuff. It wouldn't surprise me.
Well, it's not, but there's been a bit of history over the time too of dodgy pigeons. So just careful, kids, when you're picking up pigeons in your backyard. They might be Chinese spy pigeons. Take them to India and have them tested, and then you'll know for sure. That's probably the best news I had for you. Sorry,
Dickhead of the week.
You suck.
All right, Donnie. Again, you're not again. You're off again. Now, you sort of touched on it, Donnie, that I'm a lover of animals. I don't think it's any surprise there. So what might surprise you is that the dickhead of the week this week is the RSPCA in South Australia.
But they're your people, JT. How could they possibly be dickhead of the week?
You'd think
it's not
so.
like it's Billy doing Bucks paintballing or anything. This is... Go on, JT.
You think so, right? Now, I'm very interested in what our listeners think about this, as well as obviously yourself, Donnie. But last week in South Australia, one of the most horrific cases of indiscriminate animal hoarding and breeding RSPCA inspectors have ever investigated in South Australia was finalised in the Magistrates Court last week.
Right.
So I'm just setting the scene here. 2 women aged in their 60s were convicted of animal cruelty offences relating to 68 animals. They were amongst 111 animals seized from the property way back in 2020, and they were actually registered breeders up until the 30th of June last year. Now, there was a lot of animals that were recovered, and some were in such poor condition that they required euthanasia.
That's not good.
Not good. So, this really pisses me off. So, they got done for all these charges, and the RSPCA's South Australia Legal Counsel, Simon Perry, I remember that name, Simon Perry, this is him. He stated that the offences were so serious that a jail term was required. I'm like, yeah, mate, you absolutely go hard, right? However, he then added to that, but it ought to be suspended, given that the defendants' ages and their lack of criminal history. So the magistrate agreed and said that general deterrence meant that a jail term was warranted, but you know what? Yeah, they're old and all this sort of crap. So they got a 6-month sentence, reduced to 3 months and 18 days because they pleaded guilty, but they suspended the jail sentence and gave them and put them on a 2-year good behaviour bond, basically, with a $500 bond. Now, on top of that, Donnie, this is a cracker. The RSPCA spent $46,000 of good people's money donated to look after the animals, but due to the defendants' financial circumstances, they were ordered to pay just $2,000. So
Talk about kissed on the
going.
JT.
You've
At
got
what
to be.
point do we not smack someone decent?
Well, this is-
not bloody
this
little
is-
slap on the wrist. That's not even a slap on the wrist.
This is the bit I don't understand, Donnie. Like, if they're literally calling it one of the most horrific cases they've ever seen, and the RSPCA themselves, they should be the ones going, throw the book at them. Literally, death penalty. They should be going as hard as anyone should go. It's up to the magistrate to say, well, look, community standards, maybe it's a bit harsh or whatever it might be. But if the RSPCA, well, if they can't go hard, who does? Who's actually defending the animals?
Penalty?
Well, I did. I don't believe they should get the death penalty. My point is that the RSPCA, they should be the ones, though, that actually should be absolutely calling for the maximum penalty. Not just going,
This is rough.
what do you do when even the RSPCA go, oh, yeah, but you know what, they're old and they haven't offended, so just let them off. I mean, you've got to be shitting me. That's the job of the magistrate. That's the job of the community to go, oh, that's a bit harsh. But the RSPCA, seriously, Simon Perry and the CEO, you are absolute dickhead of the week, because that is just shit form. They've let everyone down. And if you want to know just who these people are, I'm not holding back here. So here's our good friends that we're talking about here. So there's Marcus Skerrick. He's the CEO of RSPCA in South Australia. And there's Simon Perry, the South Australian Legal Counsel. So guys, absolute dickheads of the week. Do better. You're representing animals and you need to do better than that crap. Rant over.
Bloody good job, JT. What I like the most about this is I know you'll share that with them, because you tag people. You tag the Melbourne City Council or Woolworths or whoever the Premier of Victoria, I think last week, got a...
And I'll tag anyone. Don't give a shit. And on top of that, Donnie, the South Australia, on top of all of that, just because you think that's bad enough, RSPCA requested that they don't name them because they were worried about their mental health.
Here we go, playing that card again. Mate, clearly they got bloody mental health issues if they're doing that to... How many animals? 68. Lucky, anyway.
Unbelievable, right? And as I said, some of these were bloody, met their end because of it. Like, just absolutely appalling. So anyway, that's the shit that the RSPCA did dishing up. So if you're going to donate money to RSPCA, maybe think again, right? So anyway, let's get on to some good stuff, Donnie, because
that'll send them broke.
We've got actually some good stuff. We've got the wheel coming up.
What have we got, JT? What have
well, we've
we
got some great trivia. We have a great trivia question.
What do
we've
you
got.
You hit on the wheel?
Yeah, we've got the wheel. Hey, the wheel. So I reckon we might be giving away a nice drop of something. And we've got some other pretty amazing stuff, Donnie. And some of that is, well, I think you're going to lead the way on this, because Our topic of the week is, it's an interesting topic to say the least. So I dare say let's get into it.
Righto.
I love that cross. Now, Donnie,
Yes.
let's talk show jumping.
Well, JT, I tell you what, I am done. I am done with horse riding being boring.
Oh,
And fortunately, the show jumpers realise their sport is boring as batshit. Nobody's watching it, and so they've said, righto, let's stir this up. Let's actually get some people watching. Let's have some fun, JT.
Ooh.
Giddy up, right? That's why we like them, because giddy up sort of
Yep.
racing, jumping, all that sort of stuff. So old mate Shane Rose, right? He's been around. Not his first
He's won
rodeo.
a few medals, hasn't he?
He has. He's an Olympian, so he's got a bit of age on his side. So he's not a spring chicken just pulling little stunts and that. So when they come out, when this local comp said, right, we're going to have a dress up competition, right? You've
Yeah.
got to dress up. It's dress up. We're going to make it interesting. So instead
Have a
of
bit
your
of
bloody,
fun,
your long boots and your white, all
Yeah,
the shit
boring.
you normally
Yeah,
wear,
yeah,
do your
yeah.
hair in a plait and that. They said, dress up, kids. Let's have some fun. So Shane, he said, great. I've got 3 outfits for the day. Let's
on you.
have a look at them. So here's his first one, JT. Can you just show that outfit? It's the one. Here he is, JT. He's got 3 outfits. One's a beer outfit, the duff one, and another one was a gorilla outfit, and then he had the mankini. Now, JT,
Love it.
I am telling you now, I just think it is absolutely bloody irresponsible for any person at all just to think that just because they're in show jumping, JT, they cannot just go around wearing mankinis.
Oh, God.
Mankinis, JT, they're a
No.
they're a showpiece, JT. I'm
Oh,
really glad we
Jesus.
got to this story. I was hoping we'd get to it earlier. I've had a wedgie all night. I was wearing this in support of Shane Rose because JT, mankinis are back. They're back.
Thank God we're in a tight shot here and it doesn't go any lower is all I can say.
I just love the fact that he brought that to show jumping and he said, right, we're going to have some fun with it. And I've come out in support of him. I'm not trying to stop the war, JT. I'm just trying to make racing fun. So, what I'll have to do is I'll have to have a quick commercial break. Have we got any sponsors for commercials? Because I've got to get this off.
I wish we had something to bloody get this off. Oh, Jesus Christ! I don't recall this being on the run sheet at all, Donnie.
No, don't worry about run sheets, JT. I'm a man of the people. Shane Rose said I'm going to make it fun for show jumping, and I said GiddyUp Podcast can come with you, my brother. So here we are, JT. The request. I would love the listeners if they would just pop in the comments. Would you like to see JT in a mankini in a future episode? All you have to do is write in now, yes or no. And
Absolutely,
if the answer's overwhelmingly yes, we'll put you on the wheel. And we'll also see if we get JT a mankini. What do you reckon? Let us know.
I'm just watching and laughing at some of the comments coming through, and
don't wanna
I think
say-
we're having some quick technical issues. There we go.
There's a lot of yeses coming through, JT.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know. Where do you go from that, people? Bloody hell. All right. No, we are going to have a serious debate, which is going to be quite interesting when you're in a mankini, Donnie. But we do have to...
It, mate.
No, you can. You've probably been wearing it all day. And I'm tipping it ain't the first time you've been wearing it either, just quietly. So, mate, we are just going to go head to head on another topic, which I love going head to head with you, Donnie. So let's bring it on for our, what do we call it? Ready to rumble. Let's do it.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Now, Donnie, last time we... Donnie's not there. That's interesting. Last time Donnie and I...
A wardrobe malfunction.
Hopefully he's getting changed, right? So so last time we had a bit of a rumble. Donnie and I went head-to-head over whether the swimming should be banned in the Olympics. And I'm like, useless sport, get rid of it. There he is, he's all back. Got absolutely smashed in that one. So I'm looking to have a bit of a comeback here with the topic here. Now, we've already covered something quite similar. And if anyone can recall we did a bit of a poll on.
Please tell me we're on a tight shot, JT.
On Zuper Dupers, can't see a thing, thank God, Donny. Woo! On Zuper Dupers, but in this one, we are going to be going something that's even more important than Zuper Dupers, Donny. We are going to be discussing, well, something that I think divides the nation, the best chip flavour, Donny. Now,
JT.
Don, I don't know about you, but I personally think there is literally only one chip flavour, and that is salt and vinegar chips. Anyone else prove me
I didn't know
wrong.
you were going to do that.
Well,
How did
Donny,
I know you were going to go salt and vinegar, JT? You're such an easy one to pick, salt and vinegar.
What do you got?
It's
What do you got?
well, for a start, you haven't put my favourite up there, which is light and tangy. The whole kit and caboodle. Light and tangy, it's thins, light and tangy. Not this buddy Smith's big fat ones. But if we're just going to go out of Smith's there, you absolutely have to look at barbecue. When you put a chip in your mouth, you want your palate to dance, JT. When you put salt and vinegar in there, it's like someone's pissed in your mouth. Like, it's not good, JT. It makes you thirsty. Then you go and drink, and then you eat more. So, JT, how did you ever come up with salt and vinegar, my friend?
Mate, I will back it up with facts and science.
This will be good.
At some point in another episode when I've done some research. But what I will do is I will put this in the group and we will do a poll on the favourite chip flavours. I will add your light and tangy bullshit into into the poll. I'm tipping it's not going to get many votes. But so look out in the group. But this will be coming up for
Someone
you guys
say
to
sex?
decide.
Oh, that's S&V.
S&V, mate.
Sex.
It's,
Sorry.
I'm loving. There's a lot of support for
Barbecue.
Janine. What's this ridiculous
Cheese and onion.
chicken original?
Oh, that's Swifty.
Hey,
mate.
what sort of weird people are you guys following this? Clearly, it's hence why you can tell Nance one on my team, right? Because salt and vinegar all the
She's
way.
the only one on your bloody team. I
Oh
think.
no, I'm starting to think that there's no one else that's bloody backing me up.
Chicken
Here.
and
Jesus.
onion has to be barbecue. Thank you. There we go. Bill
this is
said
bull-
barbecue.
This is
I
bullshit.
like this.
Now, Donny,
No,
we've
this
got a
is
lot coming up. We're going to put the poll in that people will
What have we got?
decide. We'll announce the results, so you'll see them anyway, probably live. If you don't, we'll announce them in the next show because we have got still dad joke coming up. We have got a trivia question, which I reckon is now the time to hit the trivia
Let's
because
do it.
the winners of the trivia, as we do every week, are going to go into the draw to win a fantastic bottle of stuff. Donny, what are they going to win?
It's homemade spank. I tell you what, I make this with love. It's vodka, and we've had a few of our listeners taste it. Interestingly, none of them have commented tonight. I'm not saying this has killed them, but I am saying they might be too pissed to actually use the digits to type in tonight. However, the flavours are divine. So Bill got the win last week, the vodka, and fortunately for Bill, it turned out so well he's getting married this week. So that's the power of my vodka, JT.
So single people out there, you need a bottle of this, and before you know it, you'll be getting hitched, right? So, all right, now our trivia question for tonight is animal related because there's been a bit of a theme tonight. So
There is.
I've just got to find it, and I think this is it. So as per usual, you got 40 seconds. Get your fingers next to the keyboard ready. All we want to see is A, B, C, or D in the comments. Good luck.
Just before you do it, JT, yell out to anyone who else is in your house. Get them to log on because the more chances you're putting in, the more. Yeah.
smash it
So
in.
seriously, sign on to all your devices to do this. I would.
Paul disqualified. He's gone early.
He's gone early. I've heard
gone
that
early.
about Paul. He goes early a bit.
Not the first time. All right, here we go. Our trivia for this week. What is the loudest animal on Earth? Is it A, the greengrocer cicada? Is it B, an elephant? Is it C, the tiger pistol shrimp, I should say? Or is it D, the sperm whale? A, greengrocer cicada, B, elephant, C, tiger pistol shrimp, or D, sperm whale, the loudest animal on Earth. Lock in your answers, and we will be revealing the answer in approximately 10 seconds.
A sperm whale, JT. Like, has that been tested?
This is absolutely 100% digi-dodge.
Did you?
There we go.
There it is.
The answer for everyone there watching at home
Wow, the numbers are coming in quick, JT. They're coming in even faster after the clock went off. Can you believe that?
So the loudest animal is the whale. Comes in at about 230 decibels, which is bloody loud, put it that way. It's when they do the clicking noise. It only goes for about 15 to 30 milliseconds, but it can be heard as loud as about 10 miles away. And if you are wondering which is the second loudest, it was C, the tiger pistol shrimp. So there you go. I will be loading all you guys who answered D onto the wheel pretty soon. So hang in there.
And also, everyone who said yes to seeing JT in a mankini will also go on the wheel tonight.
Interestingly, I saw absolutely no one say it. So happy days. Now, Donnie, I do want to just, my next segment here, and this is my pick of the week, Don, is we raised something about a month ago on the show, and it pissed me off. It was a dickhead of the week, and if anyone can remember, it was about Gus, the fish in New South Wales that some absolute dickhead put a spear through. And you know, the gropers are like the Labradors of the sea, right? So to just do that to an animal is just bullshit. A petition was started. I did sign it. I know a few of our audience members signed it as well. And so I'm going to give you a bit of an update on just how that is actually going.
What's happening?
Dickhead of the week.
Oh, it's not that. It's this one.
JT. Pick of the week.
So JT is the dickhead of the week because he put the
Well,
wrong...
I was kind of thinking they are a dickhead. That's why I still ran with it, right? So, as you know, we did have the story about Gus, who was tragically, we believe it was Gus anyway by this absolute flog. But people did actually get pretty pissed off about it, and over 5,000 people signed, 5,813 to be precise, did actually sign a petition. And good news announced on today was that New South Wales have announced they are now going to protect that fish from any method of fishing, including line fishing. So a good result. The people have spoken and said it's not okay, and the New South Wales government, to their credit, have said, okay, we are now going to change the rules and outlaw any killing of this fish. They've also changed the fines to now a maximum fine of 22 grand or 6 months in prison, or both. So, you know, a lot of good news is coming out of this, right? But
JT, yes, there's bound to be a but. Go on.
There is a but. And I'm again interested in how divisive this is going to be for our country, because one, they've said the law is just going to be going on a 12-month trial basis. So they'll review it in good time, which is fine. And hopefully it stays in place. But here's the kicker, Donnie, and this really is the kicker. The fish will also continue to be allowed to be caught for Aboriginal cultural fishing due to its cultural significance to Indigenous peoples.
Yep, there you go.
Thoughts, Donnie? Thoughts?
I would love to hear the people's view on this. I am so done with anything that aligns to just grabbing hold of mental health, or this is Aboriginal culture, or it's transgender. These tiny little bloody minority groups. Well, not that the Aboriginals are a minority group, but seriously, why on earth do we create a divide and say it's no good for a white man to spear that fish, but a dark man, an Indigenous bloke, somebody who's lived here for as long as they have, that's okay. You go and kill it. What a load of shit. Soon as we keep having all these divided rules, JT, none of the rules make sense.
Yep, I couldn't agree more, Donnie. I just think you got to be shitting me. It's either good or bad if you're going to enable people to kill the fish. And Australians love a fair go, Donnie. It's built into our culture. And I just think where we're getting now is there's just two different rules for freaking everyone, and we're all absolutely over it. If it's not okay to kill a fish, it's not okay, full stop. If we're going to evolve as a society, then it's for everyone. We can't say, well, you can stick to your, dark age principles or whatever the hell it is. It's just like in Japan where we go, you know what? The world's moved on from killing whales, and Japan have said, yeah, but we do it for cultural reasons. don't give a shit. You're either all in or you're all out. And this divisive couldn't care less whether it's a bloody, as you said, Aboriginal, bloody Italian heritage. Well, I don't give a shit. That is irrelevant to me. It is having two sets of rules for society is what's causing the mess that we are in today.
Well, I'm glad we brought some good news to the people this week, JT, because seriously, there's a lot of dickheads of the week just popping up in our segment. So we've got to bring some more love. What else have we got? We're bound to have. Is there any way we can make some money out of this show, JT?
Oh, Donny.
You know where I'm going with that.
I know where you're going. The Money Whisperer, he's got a hot stock and crypto tip. Now, heads up, goes for a couple of minutes, but trust me, it is worth having a listen. So let me get that. And while we're doing that, I'm going to be loading up the wheel. So, yeah, it's coming soon as well. And just got to find the bloody segment. Where is it? There it is.
G'day guys, it's the Money Whisperer here. Last week I mentioned that I was checking out a couple of highly speculative investments in crypto and in the share market. So I've checked those out and I've both actually invested in both of those this week. So the one in the stock market is called Agencia Therapeutics, and what it does, it is a drug that's currently in trials, an Australian-based company that is producing a drug that will hopefully reduce the impact on the brain in the event of a stroke or other heart-related instances. So obviously it's highly speculative. It's in the testing stage, but if they do get it right, there's a potential for a big return. If the testing fails, then it could go down to zero, but I've paid 55 cents on Monday this week. So around that range, it might be worth throwing a few dollars in. In terms of crypto, the one that I've invested in this week is called Arbius, or the code is AIUS. I'll get both the codes put in the comments by the guys if we can. What this coin does, it's in the AI or artificial intelligence space. Artificial intelligence is revolutionising the working world, as we all know, but it takes up a huge amount of server and computer space. And what this coin allows, it's a decentralised token. It allows people with excess server space, particularly the crypto miners and other companies and individuals, to in effect lease that space back to ChatGPT and other AI companies and applications for a weekly fee or a monthly fee, whatever the fee based is. So it's some token will get in the crypto space will get the AI connection right. Not sure if it will be this coin, but I've certainly had a small crack this week. Highly speculative again. And it's wildly fluctuating, this coin, between $500 and $1,100, sort of on a day-to-day basis. I bought in around the $650 mark on Monday, but as I said, it's been way lower than that and way higher than that just within the last 24 hours. So proceed with caution. Don't put any money in you can't afford to lose, but the potential payoff is there, but only a very small percentage of your investment portfolio should go into either of these two investments. But good luck. My money's in. My money's where my mouth is. Good luck and see you next week. Cheers.
What's not to love, JT?
We look after the people. There's some great tips there. But again, as we always say with all financial advice, do your own research. But I tell you what, he's got a good track record, hasn't he?
Hasn't he ever? And I tell you what, you know what? Again, he did it, JT. He said, where I've put my money, this bloke's got some skin in the game. We are very fortunate to have the Money Whisperer on the GiddyUp podcast. Like, seriously, he has said no to some really big, heavy movers and shakers so he can be just here with us. I bloody love it. And more importantly, I love the fact that he's doing exactly what he's advising us to do. So as with financial advice, we say, you know what, don't put in what you can't afford to lose. Unlike drinking, we just say get pissed. Don't worry about the rules there. Just go hard.
Now, Donny, I have had a few rants tonight, but of course, it can't all be about me having a rant, I believe. Well, you've got a pretty big week it's coming up, fair to say, so I'm looking forward to hearing your rant on this one.
JT, this might surprise you, but it's actually not a rant. And the reason it's not a rant is because I made one commitment to myself this week. No matter what happens, I am not going to let bullshit parts of society take me off this high. I am tomorrow, what are we up to? In 2 more days, I'm going to be the father of the bride. Could not be bloody happier. And so I've made a commitment that I'm not going to let anyone wreck my time. The girls, my beautiful bride, and everyone, they're all set. They've had their spray tans and nails and shit done. So it's very, very exciting. The whole family's happy. My rant, JT, is actually a question. For those of you that have been married, for those of you that have had some advice for either the father of the bride or the bride and groom, one thing I would love to hear is your comments. What's some great advice that we can pass on to young people that are getting married and, well, more importantly, my daughter and her husband-to-be getting married. It's something I would love to share with them, little pearls of wisdom. And I've got some of my own, but I'd love to hear other people's. My probably most important thing is keep 2 things alive, JT, and that is communication. No matter how awkward and uncomfortable it might be, have the conversation. And the other one is don't stop shagging. Like, seriously, that is, people go, oh, you can't talk about that or you can't say that. Bullshit. It's important in relationships, and those of you that aren't doing it, you're missing out. So I think that's great advice. After all, that's how my daughter got here on the earth anyway. But my advice really is a question, and that is, what is your advice I can give to newlyweds?
Excellent. I look forward to reading some of those later on. You obviously don't need to comment now. This you can watch this video at all sorts of times, or if you listen to the podcast, you know where to find us on YouTube. We've got our website, which is just GiddyUpPodcast.com.au. So very exciting, Donnie. Looking forward to. We're going to be sharing some photos with our listeners next week.
We will indeed. We might even do. Is it wrong to do a Facebook Live in the GiddyUp podcast walking down the aisle?
Yeah, good question. Well,
we might check with the bride.
There might be a few hot reels. That's right. Ask permission, right? So yeah, some great tips that are coming through. But congratulations, guys. I know you're both watching and regulars. So very, very exciting day. I'll send through some advice later on because I've got too many things to do right now. But very exciting. We look forward to hearing all the news from next week. So Donnie, we're going well over time like we always do. So we've just got the dad joke, the wheel. And I reckon that's probably about it.
That's it. Let's do it. What is this?
All right, let's do it.
JT?
Oh, this is a good one, I think.
Dad joke of the week.
Donnie, all right, here we go. I'm going to try and do my best for this one. I thought it was pretty good. I must admit, I did laugh a few. You know, sometimes you read a joke and you're like, yeah, that's a really good one. This wasn't it, but I'm going to read this one anyway. All right, so a bishop advertises a job to ring the bell in his tower. And now the only job applicant is a hunchback with no arms. So the bishop's like, well, mate, thanks for applying, but how can you do the job? You can't pull the rope. And the hunchback's like, oh, good, mate, I've got a plan, but we've got to go to the top of the tower where the bell is. And so the bishop didn't really have a lot of other applicants, right? So he's like, all right, well, okay, sure, no worries. So they climb all the stairs all the way to the top of the tower. And the bishop goes to the hunchback. He's like, all right, mate, well, show us your plan. And so the hunchback sort of goes, takes a big breath, runs and jumps at the bell, striking it with his head. And sure enough, it rings the bell. And the bishop's like, mate, that's amazing. But surely you're going to get a headache. And the hunchback replies, mate, no problems. I'll get used to it. All good. No stress. So Bishop's like, oh, well, he can do the job. There was no other applicants. What the hell? Bloody do it, mate. So he gets the job. So one day, the hunchback decides to put a little bit of extra into his bell ring, and he's getting the hang of this. His head's toughen up a bit. So he steps back and runs full pelt, goes right at the bell, jumps at it head first, smacks into the bell, but he kind of missed, slipped over, falls off the tower, and plummeted to his death.
Oh dear.
So a crowd gathers around, a policeman arrives, and a bystander asks the cop, he says, well, do you know this man? And the cop just sort of looks at him and goes, nah, but his face rings a bell.
Oh, JT, you're right. No, that's not bad. That's not bad.
On,
like,
that's
we
pretty
took a
good.
long time to get there. But no, I'll give you that.
Awesome. All right. Well, we are going to do the spin of the wheel, Donnie. Now, I have loaded up the wheel. The one thing I haven't worked out is how to display the freaking wheel on the screen properly. So give me a sec. I'll make it work somehow. But hang on, just give me a second here, and we will get this going.
That's what you do. Hey, next week, JT, can we talk about the Money Whisperer talked about the AI stuff? Can we? I know you are all over AI and shit. Can we talk
It
about
is
that?
just mind-boggling the stuff that is going on at the moment and raises so many fascinating ethical issues that are going on at the moment. It is one that we should all be
better
across.
place
So
to deal with ethics than the GiddyUp Podcast, JT.
that's us, right? All right, bear with me. I hope
we
you
go.
guys
Here's
can
the
see that because I have actually completely stuffed it up. Can you see that? I can't see while this is running.
Yeah,
So
we'll know who wins. It'll come.
all right. So it looks to me like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Smart people.
8
They know
smart
about
people.
sperm
8
whales. It's
smart, yeah, anyone who answered D, you're on the
why
wheel.
they know
So
that.
good luck to everyone. I'm going to click it now.
Close
And
look at
away
this,
it
JT.
goes. Very exciting. As it stopped, so I went early on the sound effect. Oh, you come on, Donnie, have we set that up or what?
That is the I was about to say bride to be. It's not the bride to be. It's the husband to be.
Could not go to a better winner this week. So
He copped it at the Bucks too. I tell
congratulations.
You, he got more bullet wounds. So it's a good. He's going to need a bit more of this. That's very.
I'm looking forward to some photos. I haven't seen any come through with bruises all over the body, Donnie.
No, well, there's none on. Well, I showed you the Mankini, and it's in pristine shape, Jade. I will
So some
put
interesting
a few photos up in there. So
we will.
Righto.
Some interesting comments coming through around AI. So we will definitely unpack a little bit of it next week. So congratulations to Bill. As we say every week, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We love what we do. We hope that we actually bring a little bit of joy and hopefully a bit of insight into some of the stuff that's going on in the world. Now,
shit.
yeah, we kind of do. Now, Donnie, normally each week we have a final thought. Now, last week, Donnie, it was a bit of a crash and burn. Have you worked on it all week for a big one this week?
No, that is the short answer. And my final thought this week, JT, is very simple. Congratulations, Nutto and Bill.
Absolutely. Congrats, Nutto and Bill. Well deserved. Looking forward to hearing all about the big day. Guys, thank you so much for watching the episode. We will be back next week, same time, same bat channel. Make sure if you see it on Facebook, just say that you're going, because then the more people that see people are going, the more other people come. So that's the one thing you can do to help us.
And keep sending me your stories. That's the only way I'll find them. Giddy up.